Well, hello and welcome back. Sarah, look how many of these people, these fine people are hanging out with us again today.
Well, we're so happy you guys are back here with us again today.
Absolutely. We're streaming across YouTube and 2 different places in Facebook, and it's exciting to see all of your faces. I'm back. So this is fun. We just obviously came off of a late virtual quilt hop last night, and we had so much fun in there. I actually watched back a little bit of it today, and there was a lot of laughter. So we enjoyed that, and we hope you guys did too. Today, we're actually popping in here because Miss Sarah has designed the 2023 Mystery Quilt for this year, and we are going to stitch out the bonus today and just kind of give more details, right?
Yeah.
I will say before we get started, we do have a $10 store credit giveaway today. So make sure you are registered at StreamYard.com/Facebook so that we can see your comments, which will get you then entered into the drawing. And Sarah has some big news she wants to share with you too. But before I do that, I want to let you know the key word for today is the word quilter. So keyword is quilter. So keep the comments coming. Hi to everyone. I see you all in here. Sarah, why don't you tell them your big news?
Okay. So when you say big news to me right now, Aubrey, I think a couple things, but
the part that you text me, that.
Okay. This is what you're talking about. So this is our fabric and thread key, and I have it here today because I finished it. I worked very hard this morning, and I had a lot of help from Annie. And we have it finished, and I believe it is available to you guys right now. And, you know, we're going to go over this, not today. We won't go over it today, but tomorrow and or Friday, we'll go over it a little more to kind of show you, because it says things like first cut and cross cut in there, and what does all that mean? So we will go over that this week. If you have questions, make sure you're tuning in. And on Friday, we will be using this to go shopping virtually in Linda's store. So that'll be fun because it'll give you guys some colorway ideas. And at the very back of it, I think I have 4 different colorway ideas, including the colorway that I used for my sample. So there's lots of good information in here. So.
Yes. And last year, Linda did the same thing when we went live, and she picked fabric, and I just thought that was so fun. Obviously, I like watching you stitch stuff out too, but it was just like a different. We're going shopping in her store basically, and
whenever she does that though, I'm like, darn it, I should have used that. You know.
Well, yeah,
you always think that.
Yeah, it's like FOMO, like, oh, but now I want to make it in this color. Yeah. But she'll have a lot of really great ideas for us too. So, and I did see Nina's on, and she put yes, so she's given us the green light. Nina put the fabric and thread key, all the places it needs to be for you all to access it. I am going to go over some slides just to recap. I don't know if there's people on here that weren't on last night, but just to kind of recap everything. But the Mystery Quilt, if you didn't know, is available for pre-order. And when you pre-order, you do have the option to add a bonus to your cart. And we have a coupon code so you can get that for free. Okay, so but before I dive into all that, I'm going to pass the ball over to Sarah, or maybe while you switch your view, I can actually jump in there. How about that?
I would love that.
Okay, so we'll do this a couple different ways. Let's see. All right. So first and foremost, we'll talk about this at the end too. We can recap, but Sarah's going to move her camera over to her machine so that you guys can watch her stitch out the bonus. So we actually are going to kick this off on May 31st. So it is a pre-order right now. The benefit to pre-ordering is you get access to this $15 bonus, and you will get a coupon code to get it for free with purchase of your mystery quilt. And then Sarah's going to go live. Annie's probably going to join her some of these classes, but each of these dates listed at 2 p.m. Eastern. She's going to go over like a little class over a particular portion of that week's files. So when you pre-order Mystery Quilt, we're going to give you a little bit on each of these dates. So we're just going to kind of string you along until you know exactly what the quilt looks like at the very end of it. Okay. And Sarah just dropped some exciting information. So I do see some more people hopping on here. So if you didn't catch the news at the beginning, the fabric and thread key is ready. We couldn't be more excited because this is how you're going to pick your fabrics. And you can take this into your local quilt shop. And you're going to pick a total of 7 fabrics. We're going to go into this more, especially on Friday. It's Fabric Friday on Friday at 2 o'clock. But just know you can get your hands on this now. If you have pre-ordered Mystery Quilt, it is in your account now, in with that product, and you'll be able to download that. If you guys want help, I can always show you at the end of the live today as well how to access that. Sarah, you just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, I was going to say, you look ready.
I have to say, the only thing that's worse than people watching you thread your machine is watching you move your camera around. So thank you for stepping in for me as I, get things ready. All right, so let's get this started. So, I should have shown you my sample of what the bonus looks like, but I will show you at the end and you'll kind of see it come together in another colorway right here. So let's get started. So right here I have our battleizer, which is our batting and stabilizer combination in my hoop. And the first step is to place a water-soluble thread in your bobbin and you'll sew your placement stitch. So I'm going to do that. I don't have water-soluble thread in my needle. I've got something that hopefully we can see a little bit better. So let's do that placement stitch. Okay, so now we've got our placement stitch down. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. Our next step is an optional one. So if you want to use wool batting, this will add some nice loft and dimension to your blocks, and it looks really beautiful. And I'd recommend it with almost any of our projects except for like a table topper. So if you're making the bonus to use it as a table topper, maybe skip this step. But if you're going to make quite a few blocks and maybe a wall hanging or something, I definitely recommend this wool batting. So I've cut it to size and I prepared it just by pressing the edges down. And now with water-soluble thread, I'll sew the tack down. Okay, so this next step, let me show you this first. So I have this tacked down and it just tacks it down with this nice zigzag stitch. And that's why you want to press those edges if you are using the wool batting. And then our next step is still with water-soluble thread and we will sew our placement stitch. Okay, now we've got our placement stitch sewn onto that wool batting. And next we're going to take fabric 1 that I've cut to size. Actually, that's a fib. Annie cut it to size for me. And I'm going to take fabric 1 and align this over my block. And then still with water-soluble thread, we'll sew the placement stitch. And then I'll talk to you in a little bit. Once we're through a couple more steps, I'll talk to you about why it is so important to use water-soluble thread, especially in this step. Okay, now that I've got that tacked down, I'm going to use a pair of my just regular size hoop scissors, and I'm going to trim about a scant 1/4 inch from that tack down stitching on the inside edge of the block. All right, and moving on, we are going to take fabric 2. And we will align that in the placement stitching. And still with water-soluble thread, we'll tack this down. And again, this is another very important step to use water-soluble thread on. And now it's going to jump down here and it will sew some placement stitching for me. So I see Kathy commented and said I'm brave to use my hands while it's stitching because she's sewn hers several times. And Kathy, maybe it was about the first month I was working at HoopSisters. This was quite a few years ago, but I stitched right through the center of my thumbnail. So I've been there and done that, and it does not feel good, does it? Okay, let me trim up my thread. And now that I have fabric 2 tacked down, our next step is going to be to trim closely to that tack down stitching on this inside edge. And I'm just going to do that with our Hoop Scissors Mini. And when I trim, and I'm trying to get as close as possible to the stitching, but I don't want to cut it, obviously, I just like to apply a little bit of light pressure by tugging outward slightly on my fabric. Gives me a nice clean cut. Okay, I'm going to trim up some threads. And now I'm moving on to step 6. I'm going to change the thread in my needle to a thread that matches fabric 1. And now I'll just sew the quilting onto fabric 1. Okay, so there is that beautiful quilting. And now I'm going to change out my thread one more time. And I've been calling my white fabric fabric 1, and I looked at my instructions and it's the background fabric. So sorry about that. Okay, so this next step is going to sew some detail stitching as well as the satin stitching, and then just a little bit of quilting on fabric 1. And I planned ahead a little bit and I already stitched that satin stitch. And I just did that with a thread that matches my fabric. So I've got my satin stitch down, and now I'm going to jump ahead a few stitches and we'll finish out the quilting in this center part. You guys are cracking me up in the comments. Someone said, tell them sisters to buy you a machine that auto threads. The funny thing is, this machine and the machine in my office do have an auto threader on it, but I don't use it. I don't know why. I just don't. I never have. Maybe someday I will. Is it torture to watch me thread this by hand? See, now I feel the pressure to make sure I'm doing it quickly. Okay, so now we are on step 8, and we are going to take fabric. I believe I have fabric 2 in my hands. I do. And I'm going to align that over my placement stitches. And I'm using, you can use the thread color of your choice, or just a contrasting thread. I like the contrasting thread, so I'm going with one that'll show up really nicely. Okay, Marge is with me. Marge threads by hand too. righty. So we've got that tacked down. And now I'm going to use my Hoop Scissors Mini again, and I'm going to trim close to that tack down stitching on all sides. And again, just to get a really nice clean cut, I like to just apply a little bit of pressure outward on that fabric. So Annie is sitting here. Annie, do you thread by hand or do you use your automatic threader?
I don't know. It seems like every day's a little different.
So you go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. You should take a poll.
Okay, got that button done. I'm working in a small area here.
They love the color choices. And
Good.
Sandy said that she really likes her threader on her new Janome M17. I bet it's wonderful.
Nice.
Someone said they love the Hoop Scissors Minis in all capital letters.
Me too. Okay. I'm going to change my thread out one more time.
Sarah, are your fabrics that you're using batiks?
The, you know what? This light blue fabric is a batik. I don't believe any of the others are. Okay, now we're going to take fabric 3, and I put a thread that coordinates with my fabric. It's a little lighter because I want it to show up, because this is going to sew the tack down stitching as well as some detail stitching.
April said she came in late. We're doing the bonus that comes along with pre-ordering the mystery quilt, and we'll show the full bonus in a little bit, but she's just stitching it out as an example of how it all comes together. And Gloria said she missed the virtual quilt hop last night for her daughter-in-law's birthday. Well, you probably should go to that, right? So we're sorry you missed it, but the replay is still up, and you still have till 8 p.m. tonight to take advantage of the specials.
Okay, so I've got that tacked down, and then I would use my Hoop Scissors Mini to trim around this close to my tack down stitching again. I won't put you guys through watching me trim that again in that little area. We are going to skip ahead a couple steps. Actually, I think I'm going to fast forward through the remaining steps. I already did those ones because I didn't want to make you guys sit here and watch my satin stitches go. So let me see if I can get this under here.
Oh, that's pretty.
So here is what my final block looked like. So the next step after you trim that dark blue fabric that we just tacked down would have been to sew some detail stitching up here along the top of our applique, and you can use a contrasting thread or whatever thread works best for your colors, and then you just have the satin stitches on fabric 2 and fabric 3. So Aubrey, I'm going to switch my camera back around. If you want to jump into your slides,
Yep, I got it. All right, so I've seen a lot of people jump on since we talked about this in the beginning, but we have some awesome news. We're so excited because Sarah has the fabric and thread key ready, which means, yeah, we're very excited about this because we've had her busy doing so many other things. She's like, I really got to get this done. And she did. So if you have already pre-ordered the mystery quilt, Nina has added this to that product. So you can go in there and download that right away. Sarah has some fabric color examples in there, but we do have plans this Friday at 2 p.m. To visit Eastern time to visit Linda's store, and she's going to pull some colorway examples for us. So, but this is available now, and then check back in with us Friday. Also, just wanted to recap that with this, you're going to get that fabric and thread key. That's even a free download. If you just want to check that out and see what you think before committing, you can do that. But if you participate, you're going to get a downloadable weekly set of files for 5 weeks. So you get a little bit more and a little bit more each week. And then all of a sudden, you get an idea of what this is all going to look like when it comes together. You're also going to get live instruction by Sarah and Annie, similar to what you're seeing today, but on each weekly blocks. Those replays will remain available. So even if you can't catch them live, you can still watch them. And honestly, our VIP community is fantastic. It's a HoopSisters VIP Facebook group. I know some of you are watching this live in that group, but it looks like half of you are watching it somewhere else, maybe YouTube or our main Facebook page. And if you're not in that group, get in there because this is the best time of the year to be in there. It's so much fun. The downloadable files are $94 one time. One time $94. You don't pay $94 for each 5 weeks. It's just for one, and you get the whole thing. We do have an option too that you can add a USB that we will ship to you later. So in that case, you're getting the downloadable files to work off of during Mystery Quilt. And then the USB we ship in July strategically because you can't know what it looks like. If we send you the whole USB, then the mystery is kaput. So in that case, that option is $107.99. Okay, so we also are going to show this to you in just a second. I'll put Sarah back on the screen and she can hold this up because I think it's even better in person than the pictures always, right? But this is our pre-order bonus. So if you pre-order before May 31st, when we kick things off, you do get this bonus. You just add the mystery quilt as well as the bonus to your cart. Use coupon code MQFB23 and it will take $15 off so you can get your hands on that. All right. I'm popping us back in here because I want you to hold up that bonus.
Yes, I was going to hold this up, and then I said when I first started, I was going to talk a little bit more about water-soluble thread and why we use it, because I did see that question a couple times last night, and I think there's probably always someone watching that wonders, why do they do that? But first, I'll hold up the bonus.
I'm going to see if I can. There.
And there you can get a little better idea of this colorway. I just did the yellow decorative stitch up there. See that quilting?
Pretty.
Very fun. And then again, this was... Which way? These were the colors that I used this time. And tomorrow what we're going to do is we are going to trim up these blocks and then we'll join them and do I'll give you a little quick demo on sashing. So you'll get a lot of info tomorrow. But okay, water-soluble thread. Let's talk that. So I have 2 favorite reasons to use water-soluble thread. And one of them, so you can see here, I just used a thread that matches fabric 1 to tack down my white fabric. So along all of these edges, I have that basting stitch that doesn't match my, it doesn't stick out a ton, but it doesn't match my fabric, and it's obviously not water soluble. So when you join your blocks together, if you don't catch this basting stitch in there perfectly, that will show right in those seams. And to remove that, obviously, if you're using a polyester thread, you're going to have to pull out your seam ripper. And I don't want to do that, and I doubt any of you do. So that's why we use water-soluble thread. That's one reason why we use it, just to make that a lot easier. You can just dab it with a damp Q-tip or throw it in the wash when you're done joining your entire quilt together, and those basting stitches just disappear. And then my second favorite reason for using water-soluble thread is that when I'm tacking down all those fabrics, I don't have to change back and forth from different thread to different thread. I can just leave that water-soluble thread in there and get through the first sometimes 5, 6, 7 steps in my blocks. So that would be why we use water-soluble thread.
Another question I saw in terms of water-soluble thread was, are you putting it in the needle and the bobbin, or one versus the other? So you can answer that one too.
So just the needle. You can just use a pre-wound bobbin in your bobbin. Keep that there. You do not need to put water-soluble thread in your bobbin, just the needle.
All right, I'm going to pop another question up there for you. When you use wash away thread, how much water is it, like a ton of water? Is it a little dab?
I don't think it's a ton of water. I will be honest. I normally just toss mine in the wash. What is your experience with that, Annie? Annie's sitting here, so I'm asking her.
Occasionally, I just used a Q-tip.
Just to do a little bit.
And that's why you use the Vanish Light, not the regular Vanish, because it just, imagine getting the tip of a Q-tip
wet.
Just dabbing it on
so
there.
not a lot of water. You don't need to drench the whole thing.
No.
I just find it easier. If you're joining, something like Grandmother's Flower Garden together, or, any of our mystery quilts, I think it's easier once you've joined all those blocks together to just toss it in the wash. Mm-hmm. So hope that helps.
Okay. I am going to pop, I'm going to pop this up there because I know everybody always wants a sneak peek, right? So this is the sneak peek. Why don't you tell them what you love about this? You're the one that chose this as the sneak peek.
Yes. So this is probably one of my favorite parts. I just think there are some very fun scallops that you can see there a little bit. I don't know. This is just one of my favorite parts of it. It's so funny because I know exactly where this is in the quilt, right? But I know that you guys have no idea. So you're like, what am I looking at? So that's kind of the fun of it. This is our sneak peek. Have we ever given a sneak peek before?
Yeah.
Here and there? Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. So
it's
a good picture that doesn't give away too much.
Yes. And I will say, if you guys are loving the bonus, then I think it definitely lends itself to kind of the style of the mystery quilt. So if you need a couple hints, then between the sneak peek and the bonus that Sarah is showing off this week, I think that you have a pretty good idea, of the general direction, right?
Yes, I think so. That's something I said last night was typically when I'm making a bonus that goes with the quilt, you kind of want them to coordinate, right? You want them to go together a little bit. So there are definitely aspects of the mystery quilt that are pulled into the bonus.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So today we stitched out the bonus. We gave you a little recap in terms of what you're going to get, the pricing, how to get the bonus included in that. Tomorrow, we're going to be live at the same time in all the same places, 3 different places, talking about, Sarah, why don't you tell them what you're going to talk about? You're the one doing it.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to do trimming and joining. So we will walk through a demonstration on how to use our Trimmer by George tool. And if you're going, what the heck is Trimmer by George? Join us tomorrow at 2 and we'll tell you then. So we'll do a trimming demo, and then I will show you the best pinning technique for how to line up your blocks perfectly. And then we will do a quick demonstration on how to apply sashing to those seams.
Yes. Okay. So that will be an important class because we tend to find that if somebody's holding back on trying this, that's the thing that they're most intimidated about, is getting that bulk out of the seams and putting the blocks together. Yeah. So Sarah will make that very, very easy tomorrow. The Trimmer by George is the best. We agree. And then Friday at the same time, we actually have Linda coming in. We talked about this a couple times, but I'm very, very excited for Fabric Friday because she does a really good job of pulling different fabrics. And then you can take those ideas, take your fabric and thread key and go to your local quilt shop and kind of go in that direction. And it never ceases to amaze us that we see the same quilt in different colors. It looks totally different and awesome all the time. Like it's really cool. So you can't go wrong by picking your favorite colors, but we will go into more detail on Friday about that too. All right, I'm trying to see comments too and make sure I don't miss anything. I did also want to pop up here a few reminders from Virtual Quilt Hop last night, because this is like a 24-hour thing. So you guys are on the clock if you want to grab these specials. They are going to go away tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. So wherever you're at. If you're in Australia, I can't help you. I have no idea what time it is over there.
I think I saw that Leonie said 2 p.m. here is 2 a.m. there.
Okay. I think, yes, because I replied to her.
Like that. Yeah.
I don't know what time 8 p.m. is to her.
Yeah.
Is it 8?
Must be 8 a.m.
Okay. So Paula's got hers all ordered. Fantastic. So there's bundles on special in there. If you don't want the bundle, or you live in another country and don't want to fuss with shipping costs, we do have the downloadable designs in there as well at 15% off, and you don't need a coupon code for any of that. Okay. If you want to give away, and we have another giveaway for today, so don't go anywhere just yet. I promise we're going to get to it. The keyword is quilter. But if you want any giveaways last night, email Nina. That will cue her to get you what you need. She's got a lot of people emailing her with different things. So please make sure you email her at nina@hoopsisters.com. And then the mystery quilt reminders we've talked a lot about today. The coupon code is at the bottom, and we will be live every day this week at 2 p.m. to dive into just different nooks and crannies of the mystery quilt, because we want you guys to feel really comfortable in trusting the process and trying something new that maybe you're not quite sure what it looks like yet. So the other thing is if you're in the contiguous US and your order is over $250, your order will ship for free. But that again ends actually today. The slide's wrong. It says tomorrow, but it's actually tonight, May 17th, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So those are my big reminders. And now I think I'm going to go in and pick a winner for the people who have.
Can we answer a question really quick?
Yes.
Okay. Someone says, is the current price of the mystery quilt going away at 8 p.m. tonight as well?
Okay. Great question. No, the price is not going away. That's just our standard mystery quilt price. Now, after mystery quilt is over, so at the end of June, the price does go up. It always does every year. This is kind of mystery quilt pricing. The mystery quilt price will not change. However, the bonus will expire on May 31st. Okay. So did I answer that clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
And then is the $15 coupon off mystery quilt or for the bonus?
For the bonus, that's also a good question. You're going to want to add mystery quilt to your cart and the $15 bonus to your cart. Use that coupon code. It'll take the $15 off the bonus, essentially making it free for you as a mystery quilter. These are great questions. Okay.
And I saw one other question asking how to enter the raffle. And I don't remember your name, but I did see it on here. So Judy, your name, you did do your StreamYard permissions. Just comment quilter and you are entered to win.
Perfect. All right. Anything else you see, Sarah?
I see that Denise says she needs a third job after last night.
Well, I get it. I know it's so hard to make tough choices, but there are special prices and there is free shipping if you hit that $250. And the mystery quilt has a free bonus. So I don't know if that helps at all, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We can always come back in here if there's more questions. And for those of you who are unsure about how to access last night's free gift, I will show that again after we pick the winner. So that way, if everyone knows and has theirs, they don't have to be held hostage on here anymore. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to pick a winner. I love picking winners. It's fun. Okay, we've got 59 of you entered, and I know there's about 90 of you watching across all channels. So I'm gonna give you just a second. Anybody else? Anybody else? Enter that keyword quilter. And then, so what you're gonna win is a $10 store credit. And you do have to email Nina at hoopsisters.com to get it, okay? So who's it gonna be? Okay, I'm every time I'm like not sure how to say someone's name.
Let's say Leonie.
Leonie. Okay, Leonie Rollins Gibson, you are the winner. Congratulations. So you just earned $10 in store credit, and I think you could probably apply that to the mystery quilt, just saying. So go ahead and email Nina at hoopsisters.com. Let her know that you were the $10 store credit winner, and we will get that in your account. And oh, I love this. So Miss Catherine says hitting 250 last night was easy. She got that free shipping. I think you froze or I froze. Are you there?
One of us did. Okay, we're back.
Okay. So, all right. Now I'm going to, Sarah, you keep an eye on the questions maybe, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to just go to our website. I'm going to show you where some things are that we've talked about. So if you want to hang on for that, if not, we'll see you tomorrow at 2:00 too, and we'll go over some more stuff then. Okay. So this is going to be for the people who just need a little extra help seeing where things are. All right. So we're here at the website, just hoopsisters.com. The first thing I want to show you is if you registered, you did have to register in advance. You have the free gift from last night in your account, which is this super cute little watermelon with ants on it. So all you're going to do is you're going to go to my account. This will say sign in. I happen to be already signed in. So you would just click there. Once you sign in, it takes you directly to your order history. And what you're going to want to do is find your registration, and the order number is where you're going to click. So just click right on that order number. And then when you get to this screen, it looks like, oh, I don't have anything in there. This isn't available. But all you need to do, if you see the brown box with the white down arrow, then you're in the right place. You just click on that and it'll take you to the download. So right here, it says slice o melon final.zipped. And you will click on that. It'll download to wherever the downloads go on your computer. So that's how you're going to access your free gift. Again, you did have to register in advance of the event. Okay. All right. The other thing I want to show you is right here. It says open house and VQH. So if you click on this, this is going to take you to basically every special that we talked about last night, as well as the mystery quilt. Ta-da! Here's the mystery quilt fabric and thread key. It costs nothing for you to download this. So I would highly encourage you, if you're on the fence thinking about it at all, download the fabric and thread key. Check out the fabric you'll need. And also she has some colorway ideas in there too. So this is where you're going to find everything that we talked about last night. And I want to also point out that down here at the bottom, it is 3 pages. So, make sure you're clicking all the way over there. If you're not seeing something, that's probably, you just need to go a little bit further. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was if you hover over the word quilts, you get all these options pop out. And I want to take you to where the former mystery quilts are, because the former mysteries are now marked down, some of them up to 66%. This is just until 8 p.m. tonight. And so, like, for example, last year's was Hidden Gems. My absolute favorite went from $360 to $120, and that's Grandmother's Flower Garden. But this is where you will find all of those former mystery quilts. Is there anything else I should show them, Sarah, while I'm in here?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay.
I do have a few questions.
All right.
So you direct me on this. Someone is asking how many blocks are in the mystery quilt. Should I tell them?
Sure.
Okay. So this year's mystery quilt has 36 total blocks, make up the main quilt, and then there is an included border. So that's an additional 28 blocks, but they are quicker, much quicker to stitch, and less than half the size of the full-size blocks. So that is my answer. And then somebody else, I saw a question, when does Mystery Quilt start? And that reminded me, I have a Mystery Quilt info document that we will get on the website right after this, because I've got it done and everything. I just was more focused on the fabric and thread key earlier. So we'll get that up there because it's got all the dates and everything in it, and you can just download that and have that PDF. But it starts on Wednesday, May 31st at 2 p.m. And then it's every Wednesday after that for a total of 5 weeks. There you go. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And then someone missed the first 20 minutes. Will this be recorded? Yes, ma'am. This will stay up. It looks like you're watching on Facebook, Judy. It will be on Facebook as a replay. So once the live is finished and we are no longer on here, you'll be able to go back and find that video.
Perfect.
And then, do you get free shipping on Battleizer if you hit $250?
I would think it would let you, the way that we have it set up.
Yes.
So if you want $250 in Battleizer, now's the time to get it. Shipping is not cheap. So.
Where can I watch the video from yesterday? Someone on Facebook is watching that. So if you are on Facebook, I'm not sure if you're in our VIP group or if you are on our main Facebook page, but we did stream to both of those yesterday. So if you just scroll down just a little bit, it's probably the next 1 or 2 posts down.
I also
see that video.
I also did pin it to the featured section, and I can't see your name, which means you haven't given StreamYard permission, but I can always go back in and tag you if I can find your name. But it's right there at the featured tab. So if you click in there, you will see it in the VIP Facebook group. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Anything else?
I think that is. Oh, I see her name. Okay. Diamond asked that. Diamond Crystal. Okay. I'm going to tag her in that right now.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. I think.
And we'll be back tomorrow, like we said. So if you guys have additional questions, just jump in here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Sarah's going to show you our trimmer by George and our awesome pinning technique to make joining your blocks super simple. And we will kind of recap everything, also answer any questions then that you might have. And then again, Friday, we'll be back for Fabric Friday. But for today, I think that's all we got. It's been fun hanging out. And don't forget that all those VQH specials end tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is crazy coming fast. I don't even know how it's almost 3 o'clock, but all right, you all. Thank you so much.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.